Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Jimmy Dore Show. I have a clean keyboard. Woohoo! Joining me from Turner Classic Movies, hot off the cruise, it's Ben Mankiewicz. Hey Ben, how are you?
Hot off the cruise. What's up, Jimmy?
Oh, all right. Well, listen, so a lot of stuff happened this week. We're talking about guns, guns, and more guns. And the NRA had some people come in and testify in Congress. And here, look, let's go right to it. There was a hearing, Gayle Trotter. She was a female, and she's from the conservative International Women's Forum. And the International Women's Forum was created to help support Clarence Thomas's nomination to the Supreme Court. So they're very pro-women, and the International Women's Forum. And here's Gayle Trotter, and they're going to ask her some questions about assault rifles, and let's just have fun, shall we?
AR-15. Can you tell us why you believe a semi-automatic rifle such as AR-15 has value as a weapon of self-defense, and does banning guns which feature designs to improve accuracy disproportionately burden women?
I believe it does.
Okay, so it's already funny.
Yeah.
It's already hilarious. Right,
You know how sometimes you watch a news anchor and you know when they're reading the story on the news, they're clearly reading it for the first time? Yes. I mean, Chuck Grassley had not read a word of that before. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Does this, anybody, getting an assault rifle, who wrote this? Yeah, it's definitely not coming out of his head. Okay, so she goes on to try to answer the question. Here we go.
Young women are speaking out as to why AR-15 weapons are their weapon of choice. The guns are accurate. They have good handling, they're light, they're easy for women to hold, and most importantly, their appearance. An assault weapon in the hands of a young woman defending her babies in her home becomes a defense weapon. And the peace of mind that a woman has as she's facing 3, 4, 5 violent attackers, intruders in her home with her children screaming in the background.
Jesus.
Yeah, you know, like whenever a single mom wakes up in the middle of a Charles Bronson movie.
I was going to say, she sounds like she's describing a Mila Kunis vehicle. You know? You're alone at home. Yeah. Suddenly a noise.
The call's coming from inside the house. The call's coming from inside the house. Yeah, she's really setting it up good. And it's a single mom, right? Singles mom. This is what it's all about. Single mom protecting the babies. Here, she goes on. She's got a little bit more to say.
The peace of mind that she has knowing that she has a scary-looking gun gives her more courage when she's fighting hardened, violent criminals.
Yeah, you know, it's the scary gun that scares off these intruders. And maybe if she got a Nixon mask on, too, they'd shit the pants. I got an assault rifle and a Nixon mask. Get out!
I love the appearance, though, because it's also totally sexist. The gun needs to shoot straight because women are incompetent. And
can't.
Probably hit one of their own kids with a regular gun. So they need the appearance so it looks, stylish.
Yeah,
so
like
it looks stylish. Ready, aim, Fendi.
Well, it's nice that what she's talking about is she's saying the extreme remote possibility of a woman needing an assault weapon to defend her children justifies the much more likely shooting of actual children. That's what she's saying, right, Ben?
Yeah, but only like 85 to 1.
Yeah.
Right, it's slight.
That's correct.
A lot of ways to interpret those statistics.
And doesn't the Second Amendment guarantee our right to own a scary-looking gun? That's what it's all about, right?
You people think they know the Second Amendment, but until you really read it.
It says the scariest
looking gun you can find in the store.
She's got a little bit more to say.
And if we ban these types of assault weapons, you are putting women at a great disadvantage, more so than men, because they do not have the same type of physical strength and opportunity to defend themselves in a hand-to-hand struggle. And they're not criminals. They're moms. They're young women. And they're not used to violent confrontation. So I absolutely urge, I speak on behalf of millions of American women across the country who urge you to defend our Second Amendment right to choose to defend ourselves.
A gun this big and scary is perfect for a young woman facing dangerous criminals right up until they rip it out of her hand and use it to kill her own kids. See? As long as we're making shit up, I can make shit up too.
You're speaking for yourself as a comedian in Los Angeles.
Oh, right.
Right, a
Yeah.
Jewish comedian in Los Angeles. Just pretend you're Jewish.
I'll go with it.
Right, exactly. But she is speaking on behalf of millions of women across the country.
Millions.
And by millions, she means, what, 4?
Yeah, four knuckleheads who are also on the pro-Clarence Thomas bandwagon.
You know, we can't see him, but you know Chuck Grassley, who asked the question, and then how come when you did, then he's hearing the answer, and he's like, who the fuck invited her?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, she's making me look bad.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. I just want to say this to Miss Gayle Trotter. And she's saying that more guns is what really single women need. They need more guns, because we all know guns in the home make women safer. That's what she's saying, except they don't. And I'll give you a couple of stats here, right here, okay? So according to the Harvard Injury Control Research Center, that's a real thing. Mm-hmm. The Harvard Injury Control Research, they found out that the states that have the most guns have also the most female violent deaths. Can you believe that? They also found that batterers, were more likely to own guns and use them to intimidate their female partners, like cleaning the gun during an argument. Guys do shit like that.
And the bigger the gun, the bigger the intimidation.
The bigger, sure. And here's one more thing. So she wants to say that it's all about women being able to defend themselves, okay? Well, let's just go to the stats, okay? We're evidence-based here in reality world. We're progressives. We care about evidence. So for every time a woman was able to use a gun to defend herself, it was counterbalanced by 83 times a woman being killed by her intimate partner.
So, excuse me, I misspoke earlier. I said 85 to 1.
Yes.
And it's 83 to 1. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to exaggerate.
83 women were killed by an intimate partner for every woman who used a gun in self-defense. So it just more guns increases the likelihood of murder, also creating situations where abuse is more violent, controlling, traumatic. So that's the real problem. So what we're talking about is the real problem women face. And she's talking about a pretend Charles Bronson, Arnold Schwarzenegger, what was the other person you said?
It's a Mila Kunis vehicle.
Yeah.
Hot girl, big guns.